Good afternoon, this is Heartbeat FM, the station with the heartbeat for Christ. I'm Pastor Christo. This is the hour for our Midday Express. It is the business hour, and in this hour we have certain segments where we look at business, and today we're going to have a special interview. There's a special tour that is going to take place in our region, and Heartbeat FM is the media partner, part of this tour, and today we're going to speak to two guests. One is with me here in the studio. It's Izak Boshoff, and the other one that's going to be on the Zoom call on the other side is Johnny Koen. Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Johnny, good afternoon.
Hello, down there in the Garden Route, a fantastic place where you guys are. You know, we're stuck in the fairest cape of the world here, but it's cycling and cycling and cycling. So really wonderful, a fantastic opportunity, and great to be with you guys.
That's good. And then also to Izak. Izak, good afternoon. You're with me in the studio.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Well, the tour, it's called Helluva Swartberg Experience. Well, Johnny, first of all, I know you are a well-known person, but to the viewers and the listeners who are not so familiar with you, who is Johnny Koen?
Well, you've got to be darn old to remember. So let's go back to 1968 when I first got a racing bicycle, a bigger one than what I retired on after 22 years. You know, my dad thought I'd grow into it. So I've been involved in the sport since 1968, knowing guys like Izak Boshoff, and racing all through until 1990 in a career which saw me get national colors in every single discipline. I ended up as a professional for 10 years, rode 12 of the report tours. Got a Springbuck blazer and whatever else. The minute I stopped cycling, I ended up the national broadcaster's official cycling correspondent, and I've been very blessed. I do about 100 MC live days, whether it's a wedding, a funeral, a divorce, a cycle event. I cover about 100 days a year, either on television, radio, or live MCing. So I've really grown up in the sport, getting back to cycling. And, guys like Daryl Impey, people say, but how well, why do you know Daryl that well? Well, I saw him when he was 5 jumping off the roof of his father's house when we were braaiing on a Sunday afternoon, so I will know him quite well. And if you've been around 55 years, you'll have a good idea as to what goes on in the sport.
Well, and Izak Boshoff next to me here. Izak, who are you?
Well, I've been living in Oudtshoorn since 1964, and I started racing in 1966. And those days we used to have inter-club between races between Belleville, Kimberley, all the clubs in PE, and then we rode provincial races against all the provinces in the country, one away, one at home, and I rode for our southwestern districts. I rode for Northern Transvaal, for Eastern Province, and for the Defence Force, and I rode overseas with the vets in Manchester, and I was with a defence cycling tour also overseas. So we rode on the road there, on the track.
Great stuff. Well, if you listen to our listeners and our viewers, these are not just ordinary men. They know what they're talking about. And coming back to the point why we're having this discussion today, there's a tour being put together from the 20th to the 23rd of April, and it's been called Helluva Swartberg Experience. And, just looking at the name, it already sounds like hell and back. And it's literally going to be like that, because we live in a fantastic area. The Swartberg Pass mountain range is here. And there is a specific spot where people would know what I'm speaking about when I say this. If you go down to Prince Albert, there's a turnoff that goes down to the hell. Die hel genoem, dit is 'n oomblik wat baie mense weet. Daar's baie foto's al op hierdie pad geneem. En hierdie fiets toernooi wat saamgestel word deur Klein Karoo Cycle Tours gaan iets fenomenaal wees. En Johnny, nou wil ek vir jou vra, as jy so 'n bietjie vir ons 'n agtergrond kan gee van hoe hierdie ding nou bymekaar gekom het en hoe jy en Izak nou saam met die res van die span dit gaan aanpak.
Jong, ek ken Izak seker al van voor ek myself geken het. So dis eintlik 'n baie groot voorreg om weer ietsie saam met hom te doen. Natuurlik die twee okkies dat ons gaan nader. Okkie vir die man met daai stem en die ander okkie wat die bemarking doen en natuurlik Heartbeat FM. En te wonderlik dat hierdie nie 'n wedren is nie. Ek dink ons moet so begin. Ons sê dat hierdie 'n ondervinding is, liewer as 'n wedren. Ons praat van 'n experience in die naam, 'n Swartberg experience. Nou dis glad nie 'n wedren met tydhouers, beamptes, 'n fotomasjien wat gaan afneem wie voor en agter is nie, maar die experience gedeelte gaan ons waarborg aan die ouens. Dit is 'n uitnodiging aan almal wat luister en kyk na die program. Toe kom aansluit by ons, daar's net 40 plekkies oop vir hierdie wedren wat in daai datums wat jy genoem het daarso pastoor gaan plaasvind, en natuurlik ons gaan die mense op ons hande dra. Dit gaan 'n bitter moeilike rit vir hulle wees op die fietsse, want net die naam sê genoeg. Jy weet, oor Swartberg pas in die hel en terug. Ek meen, dis nie 'n trip waarvoor 'n ou wil betaal nie. En dit is nogal 'n style inskrywingkie, maar ons gaan 'n 4,5, 5 ster tipe van akkommodasie, traktering, vermaak en al hierdie dinge gee. Jy weet, onder andere ry die manne 72 km die eerste dag, die tweede dag so 66 km, die derde dag maar 42 km. En ek sê dit omdat ek natuurlik nie op 'n fiets ry nie. Izak is die ry-toer gidsleier en ek is die ou daar wat die geraas gaan maak, so 'n bietjie 'n paar lekker reporttoer stories oor vertel in die aande en so aan. Ja. En natuurlik daai hele tog van die wedren met 'n Ford Everest bakkie. Baie dankbaar daarvoor gaan aanpak liewer is op my eysterperd. Weet, so ek moet my vars hou om in die aande te kan lekker stories vertel en so aan, terwyl Izak en die manne 'n bietjie gaan sloef en betaal daar met daai fietsse. Maar die hele idee is hard werk middags, lekker kuier snags. Ons gaan byvoorbeeld sterre kyk. Ek is seker ons gaan nie net hier en daar 'n ou melkskommeltjie drink en so nie. Ons gaan lekker braai, lekker praat, 4,5, 5 ster bly. En jy weet, dis 'n gulde geleentheid, Christo, vir mense soos maatskappye dat 'n spanbou kan kom doen saam met ons. Ek meen, beter kan jy nie, weet, bergfiets is die nuwe golf deesdae, hè. Golfbane, golfklubs om Suid-Afrika het nou 'n bergfiets aansluitingsmoontlikheid dat die manne kan kom ry op die golfbaan. Jy weet, so if this is the new golf, dis 'n wonderlike manier vir ons luisteraars en kykers om of hulle 'n span, 'n maatskappy te kom bring en lekker spanbou te kom doen, maar tabber is dit gaan jy nie kry nie. Dan natuurlik ten tweedens kan jy dalk jou gunsteling kliënt bring vir so uitstappies soos 'n ronde van golf, maar ek sê vir jou, hy sal moet geoefen wees om hierdie wedren te voltooi dat hy weer by jou koop. Anders gaan die man dalk in die hel agterbly, want hierdie is glad nie maklik nie. Ek dink elke ou kry net so 'n medalje, jy weet, wat die wedren voltooi. Ja. En as 'n ou dink daar, jy weet, dit gaan hard wees, lekker wees, goeie gees wees, lekker kuier, sterre kyk, ons gaan nie aan bietjie musiek hê. Ek gaan my bes te probeer om ons nie aan die slaap te praat met 'n paar ou reporter stories nie, waarvan daar honderde van die goed is. Jy weet, al die lekker dinge wat gebeur het, verkeerslig wat nie gewerk het nie, die ou se tas wat verloor het, en jy kan dit maar net noem, jy weet, ons gaan daaroor chat, en dit is natuurlik 'n lekker geleentheid om saam met 'n man soos Izak Boshoff te kan ry, wat provinsiale kaptein was, nasionale span gered, kampioenskappe toe was, om net jou ry reg te kry ook. Dit is nou om 'n paar rondes golf te speel, saam met 'n man soos Ernie Elsewater. Jy weet, ja. Ek dink dis 'n pragtige, unieke geleentheid, wat nie 'n wedren is, waar daar nie 'n wenner gaan wees en 'n verloorder nie, ons gaan almal op ons hande dra.
Absolutely, that has been captured in the name, the Helluva Swartberg experience. As you said, a couple of questions we would like to ask, and first tell our viewers that Heartbeat TV is also part of this as a media partner, and we will be capturing this whole experience on camera, and people that are participating in this experience will have the opportunity to have himself some footage and photos afterwards, so that he could say, this medal that I've received, this is what I've done to get this medal. So it's going to be great. Now, Izak, over to you. If you can maybe take us through, where does it start? And we're going to give all the information at the end, where people can watch this and see and phone to book the bookings and all of that. But if you want to take us through the 4 days, how is this going to happen?
Well, on the Thursday we're going to get together, and then the next day we start.
This will be at what place?
At De Hoek. And then we'll go to Gat and we'll have breakfast, a decent breakfast.
Yeah, Gat is one of the most profound places,
yeah.
And I know everybody knows Gat because he's on all the Kunstefeeste right around the country. Yeah. His stalls are always there, so we're going to be in person, right in his place. That yes. Will be something awesome.
Yeah. And then from Gat to the top of the mountain is 10 kilometers. It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, and it's gravel road. It's hard, but when you get to the top, there's a beautiful view of Maikitrafir over the valley. And then after that, we go down the mountain. It's about 3 kilometers. Then we turn left. And then it's also very hard.
Yeah.
And then till we get to the Hell, which is also, I was there, I rode the route, and it's very picturesque and beautiful inside. Accommodation is good. The food is very good, which the guys will like because they'll be hungry after they've started that.
Absolutely.
And then after that, the next day we go to Prince Albert 4-star. We stay at the Swartberg Hotel, and then the next day we go back to De Hoek.
Okay.
And the first stage 72, as Johnny said. The second one 66 kilometers, and the other one is 42 k's. It's 180 kilometers altogether.
Will there be a maintenance team that moves with this experience? I'm talking about medical assistance. If the guy's bicycle makes some problems, or should one look after yourself during this tour?
No, we look after them. We'll have medical there. We have backup, a trailer with a bike or whatever. If your bike breaks, that you have backup. So there shouldn't be a problem.
One of the highlights also of this experience, we went up the mountain the other day and took some footages. So we're going to place that also on our platforms where you will be able to access all the information and showing the road, what it looks like and what the guys can expect. And I know a lot of people that will participate in this experience have already done the Swartberg Pass in a car or a bakkie or someplace, but doing it on a bike, it's going to be a hell of an experience. Johnny, yeah, you can elaborate on that, Johnny?
Well, I like the way you put it, because I'm not so sure that I would be intrigued. But certainly I think this is a lovely challenge for those guys. Even if, coming back to Izak, you might have driven the route, but to go on your bicycle is going to be really special. If you've ridden this route, I want to promise and assure, you might have ridden the bike down to the Hell because there are events that go there. You might have ridden out, but we're going to make this such a special experience. Going to be a real event of comradeship, camaraderie, a wonderful gees. We're going to have great fun doing this and celebrate life, celebrate cycling, and celebrate the opportunity of doing this with like-minded guys. You can imagine our target market's probably going to be people who are established in life, people in business in life, corporates, companies. Certainly you've got to be fairly capable on the bike. Otherwise you're going to join me in that Fort Everest, I can assure you. But those sort of people, to spend 3-4 days with them networking, doing team building, having a great hears, getting to know Izak, chatting to myself, getting to know all the media, being on the media, getting Heartbeat, on your TV and on the radio, of course, to get out and get some coverage there. I think it is a tremendous opportunity. And just looking at when it's run, April, it's a little bit more forgiving than February in that held certain area. I can tell,
absolutely.
I can tell that living in Cape Town, because I think in Feb it would have been absolutely torture this time around, but we might have some tougher ones coming up yet. But we've thought of everything, because April is just that ideal time of the year, weather-wise, to go down there. We don't want to do this for sissies, but it's got to be manageable.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to now say to the people, the price to have your place booked is going to be 12,000 Rand, and this includes all the accommodation and everything that was mentioned. And we must ask the people, if you do this before the 31st of March, there will also be a discount that you can have. And then the entries, there's a telephone number, I'm going to give that. It is 071 209 1977. I'm just repeating that. 071 209 1977. Or you can go to operations@royalcape.net, where all the information will also be. Or you can go onto the website, and as you see it on the screen there, it's www.royalcape.net/cycle bookings. There's a link there, and as soon as you click on the link, it will take you exactly to the site where there's an easy form that you can participate in to make your booking happen. We will also, from time to time, every week, we will have information concerning this. and we will keep our listeners and our viewers up to date on to be part of. I'm going to be part of this. I won't be riding a bike, but I will be there in person to take the footages, and we're excited to be part of this program. Last words from you, Koen?
Well, I think, we're going to
Johnny?
make memories as well on this trip. I just worked 2 weeks ago at the Mapani Pharmacy Barberton mountain bike event, and it was 40 degrees out on the course. Izak, you'll appreciate this, where Barney Bernardo found that gold so many years ago. Some guy thought he'd go and cool off in a dam. What happened to him? A baby crocodile came up and grabbed him on the foot.
Yeah.
And luckily to remove the foot, it took his shoe. But I think we're going to make memories on this trip as well. And it's these sort of incidents, Krista, that make it a memorable, fantastic experience. And we really invite all of our viewers and listeners to join us on this experience. It's going to be a hell of a special experience, I can assure you of that.
Thank you very much. Izak, last words from you?
Yeah, we're looking forward to taking the people and see where the people that want to ride. But it's going to be hard, but they'll enjoy it.
Well, thank you to all our viewers and our listeners, legendary people, part of a program, Helluva Swartberg experience, and this is just the first of many to come. And we want to encourage you to be part of this. Go onto our sites, check the numbers, do your bookings, and let's have this experience. As Johnny was saying, this is not about a race. This is something on a bucket list that you could tick off and say, I was part of that and I made it. Or not, it doesn't matter. You were just part of it. So we would like to thank you. Thank you guys for being on air with us today. This is not the last. We will keep the public and everybody participating in this up to date. And from time to time, we'll share the videos and have some more discussions on radio with Johnny, and to also explain to the people, get them excited to be part. This is also like the park runs. People are participating, children, mothers and fathers and omas and opas, they're all part of this, and we see this also happening in the very same way. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
That's all for us today on this segment of the Midday Express, speaking about business, and this business was all about cycling.